Today's topic is going to be about the Clippers, the Los Angeles Clippers. Do I think that the Los Angeles Clippers are the, team to beat this year? Are they the team that is going to take it all the way to the championship and win it? Well, let's talk about it. So, with the addition of John Wall to the team and having Kawhi back, it's very possible that the Los Angeles Clippers are the team to beat this year. If they stay fully healthy, if everyone can play all together, if they have some time to mesh together, how is that not the team to beat? Look at their roster. Their starting lineup's going to be what? John Wall, Luke Kennard, Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, and I guess you got somewhere in between. I guess Zubac is probably in there as their center. And that's a pretty beefy starting lineup. And not to mention that they still have Nicholas Batum off the bench, who's a great 3-and-D player. You got Robert Covington. You have Rodney Hood. You have Terrence Mann, Marcus Morris, all very solid guys that could possibly start on other rosters or starting lineups, really. Maybe not ideally, but they could. Marcus Morris has been a starter before. Nicholas Batum has been a starter before, even though he's a little bit older now. They're all very solid guys. Oh, and not to mention Reggie Jackson, who, again, can be a starter. I guess maybe Reggie Jackson's going to start over John Wall, or maybe they'll play alongside each other. That's a scary team. You can't sit there and tell me that, they're not, on paper, the favorites. Like, there isn't a deeper team than them. Maybe the Celtics are deeper, but even then, it's like you don't. I don't know how I feel about Jason Tatum playing in big time games, but I do know how I feel about Kawhi Leonard, their number one guy, playing in big time games. I know that he's going to deliver as long as he stays healthy. Paul George is a guy who's been very, very hot and cold during big games. You've seen him in his side where he was, pandemic P and he hit the side of the backboard. And you've also seen him the year after kind of make up for that and play to his potential. And pre-injury, he was a monster. Post-injury, he's good. He's a number or top 3 in the running for MVP, I think in 2017 or 2018. That year before he went to the Clippers. There's a lot of upside on this team, but what scares me is do they stay healthy? Do we know that they're going to stay healthy? Do we rely on that team to go all the way, barring any injuries, And that's it's kind of hard to delve into, I want to say that yes, they're the favorites, and yes, they're going to be the ones to do it this year. But I can't 100% say that Kawhi Leonard's going to be healthy all year. There's pictures of Kawhi Leonard that have come out. It looks like he's been working out on his legs a little bit. He looks a little bit sturdier, a little bit beefier. And maybe that's what he's been needing to kind of, stay away from injuries. Maybe finally he's like, okay, I'm going to take some preemptive measures to combat some of these injuries, right? And maybe that is not even enough, because I'm someone who comes from having a bunch of injuries. I've played a lot of basketball in my time, and because of that, I have terrible knees. I've torn my ACL. I'm currently going through some sort of injury in my knee. I don't know. I probably need to get it checked out. I just don't want to hear the news that it's another torn ACL, and then I have to get a surgery, because that would be awful. But I'm really hoping it's not. But I understand that sometimes those things are inevitable and you can't help them, right? And so it's hard to say, and time will tell. But I think on paper, and what I potentially think this roster and team can be, I think they're the team to beat. I don't know what team beats them. Maybe the Warriors can definitely match up with them. The Warriors are a tricky team solely on the fact that I just like their role players all step up. It's the way that the team is ran more than anything. Like, it's ran to a T, and it's ran in a specific way that works perfectly in most lineups, right? You can plug a guy in to the Warriors lineup and he'll probably succeed in there. It's one of those franchises that you don't see very often that can anyone can be successful, and if you're given the right tools, which a lot of times they are for the Warriors. But yeah, that's just kind of my thoughts and what I wanted to say about the Los Angeles Clippers. Let me know what you guys think. As always, check out some of my other videos. If you like the video, go ahead, leave it a like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.